Dear friends, I still cannot believe it, but I have just been convicted because I asked a question about Moroccans.
Dus ik vraag aan jullie, willen jullie in deze stad en in Nederland meer of minder Marokkanen?
While the day before yesterday, scores of Moroccan asylum seekers terrorized buses in Emmen and did not even have to pay a fine, a politician who asks a question about fewer Moroccans is sentenced.
Hey, let's discuss some of the history of the PVV. The PVV, or Party for Freedom, started all the way back in 2004. And this year, our party leader, Wilders, was part of the VVD. He left the VVD because he thought that the VVD didn't have the right opinion in the accession of Turkey to Europe. He thought that Turkey couldn't access the European Union, but the VVD thought that it was okay. That is why he left the VVD. He left the VVD, but he remained in his seat. He didn't let the citizens of the Netherlands down. He stayed in his seat and he formed a group, named Group Wilders. Let's move on to 2006. In 2006, a paper was published where the PVV was described as a cult, with Wilders as an extremely distrustful leader who would only accept the candidates that were completely loyal to him. But they were wrong, because Wilders would only accept the people that want the best for the Netherlands. This paper didn't let him down though, and he remained in his seat and he gained support. But still some people were against him, but they couldn't see the true greatness of the PVV. In 2006, Wilders focused on a serious problem: the amount of Islamic people coming into our country. We need to change the policy for foreigners, because the policy for foreigners causes trouble and problems for the people in the Netherlands. We don't want those problems, so we want to solve it. And that is by reforming the policy to foreigners. Maybe for this idea, the PVV got in 2006 9 seats in the second chamber, so we were growing. The Party for Freedom grew and it almost became the largest party in some of the elections. Through the Tweede Kamerverkiezingen of 2010, the PVV gained 24 seats. So from that moment on, we gained a lot of success. We gained power, so we really could reform the policy to foreigners. We could change the Netherlands. We could make it better again. We became the largest party in some of the provinces during the Provinciale Statenverkiezingen. The people finally saw how good the PVV was and the true greatness of the Party for Freedom. There are still some people that don't see the true greatness of the Party for Freedom. Some people even were candidates in the Party for Freedom. They left and joined another group or made their own group. But for the other part, most people know that we want the best for the Netherlands, so they vote for us. In the second chamber elections of 2012, we, the PVV, addressed another problem to our society, the European Union. We have a lot of problems and disadvantages because of the EU, so we need to leave the EU. We can identify ourselves as a right-wing populist party. But what does that mean? Well, a right-wing populist party is against the elites and is against the current government system. So we are against the way that things are governed in the Netherlands right now. We are also against the elites because we want the power to the people. We want the power to the citizens of the Netherlands.
We are a nationalist and right-wing populist party in the Netherlands. We stand for freedom. We are the Party for Freedom, the PVV. We have strong and clear visions about how our country should be ruled, about the policy of our country. the Netherlands. Parliament forced the Netherlands into destruction. They ship billions to Southern Europe and turn our borders wide open. All in order to meet the requirements of the European Union. The result, our economy is underperforming and increasingly unemployed. There's only one way out. Choose for the Netherlands. Our party, the PVV, wants to leave the EU so we can be a free country again. If we leave the EU, our welfare will improve. By freeing us from the European Union, from Brussels, we can conclude trade agreements with the rest of the world. Our trade with the EU remains intact. Thanks to our location, innovation and hard work, are we the gateway from the world to Europe. We want the Netherlands to be the boss of their own borders again. So we can decide on our own who comes here. We close our borders to labor immigration from Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, etc. And especially immigration from Muslim countries. The PVV wants to reduce the taxes. This leads to additional purchasing power, additional growth and additional jobs. Mass immigration and Islamization are disasters for the Netherlands. Our identity is in danger. We want to remain who we are. We want to be free and sovereign. We should make our own political decisions in The Hague and not in Brussels. The PVV advocates to a stronger and better Netherlands with sustainable economy, a country that's proud of its own identity and defends its preservation. PVV wants to invest in more security for citizens, more dignified care for elderly and a better education. The government should be more effective and less bureaucratic. What makes the PVV different from other parties is that we stand for freedom. We are a liberal party. We want to change the constitution in terms of equality for the law of all citizens, in order to hold the Dutch culture. VVD is also a liberal party, but they stand for rights as an individual. We stand for equal rights to all with a legal Dutch identity, especially for our country, the Netherlands. We, for instance, stand against any form of Islamization and immigration from Muslim countries. We stand for a free country that can develop with its own ideas without interruption from Brussels. That is what makes us different.
One of the most important and known views of our party is limiting Islamic influences in the Netherlands. We see the Islam as a totalitarian ideology and not as a religion. It should not be compared with other religions, but with other totalitarian ideologies like communism. We think their ideology is about domination and suppression, which is a major danger for Europe. We want to make clear that the people who keep to our rules, norms and values, if you're a Muslim or not, are welcome in the Netherlands and will be treated equally. But for those who exhibit criminal and terrorist behavior is no place in the Netherlands. We find it very important that the people who commit a crime with a double nationality will be deported and their Dutch nationality will be taken away. Another way we want to limit the Islamic influences is by banning immigration from all Muslim countries. We want to achieve this by not letting any refugees in the country and by closing the borders. We also want to ban all Islamic expressions, for example headscarves and Qurans. This also counts for all mosques and Islamic schools. Something we are also very clear about is that we want the Netherlands out of Europe. We have several explanations for this statement. For example, the European Commissioner says that we as the Netherlands may not decide for our own who we let into the Netherlands. We think that we should be able to do this. This is one of the reasons why we should leave Europe. The Netherlands are also giving a lot of money to countries like Greece. A result of this is that the B2B will rise and own risk in healthcare will also get higher. It does not make sense to give millions of euros to countries who have messed up themselves and that our own country has to suffer for that. Another very shocking and unreasonable fact is that the European Commissioner and the European parliamentarians earn very big sums of money every month. This can go up to 28,000 euros a month.
Our party leader is Geert Wilders. On September 3rd, 2004, he left the VVD and he founded this one-man party called the Wilders Group. He was only a member. The Wilders Group became the PVV, of which Wilders to date any member. After the parliamentary elections of November 2006, he became party leader in the second chamber. He decided to leave the VVD because he had other better ideas for the Netherlands. The PVV has 13 representatives in the first chamber and 12 representatives in the second chamber.
In the European Parliament, the PVV is in the fraction Europe from Nations and Freedom. This group is formed on June 16, 2015 by 6 right populistic parties and an independent European parliamentarian. The fraction has 39 members who are from 9 different member states. It is the smallest fraction in the European Parliament. The fraction opposes to the European Union in its present form. They want to go back to a Europe existing of independent states that work together on economical sector. They also want that every country can control their own borders again and can pursue their own asylum and immigration policy.